All right, Moses, so it's been some time since we've kind of seen some hockey here, or the Bobcats variety. Now, the Lloydminster Bobcats, they are back, but we're still going to have to wait a little bit longer before we actually see them here.
Well, it'll be about a week. January 10th is when they're going to have their first home game of 2014. But the Cats open the new year on the road with a pair of games against a very dangerous Fort McMurray Oil Barons squad. Matt Schumont has more on tonight's game.
Returning to the ice after their Christmas break, the Bobcats came back running two-a-days to get the rust off for the second half of the season.
It was pretty tough, personally I didn't skate over the break, and coming back it was pretty hard to get back in the mix, but no, it was good for us to get back in shape, and hopefully we can get a step above a lot of teams by getting 2 practices a day and working hard.
The schedule makers weren't all too kind with the Cats as they return with back-to-back games this weekend against the number 2 team in the country, the Fort Mac Oil Barons.
Any points after the break here, last half of the season, is huge, and it's big for us to start off with a good weekend here, 4 points, and we played good against Fort Mac, fairly good, I guess, last time we were up there, so hopefully we can bring that again and get some wins.
Fort Mac's been doing really good all year, and there's definitely a good possibility of seeing them in the playoffs, so this is a big weekend for us to gain some ground on them.
You got to go in, you got to go with the intention to get points. I mean, they're all northern opponents pretty well right now for us, and those are the teams that we're battling to get position for. Those are the teams we're going to battle in the playoffs against.
Now, this is the unofficial start to the second half of the season, and with 21 games remaining till the postseason, the Cats know they can't take any nights off from here on out.
In the second half, it's a lot more compact. I mean, not as many games, and it's pretty much everyone's just gearing up for playoffs, so pace definitely picks up.
You just got to bring your best game. It's preparing for playoffs, and each team's going to get better each game they play here after the second half here. And teams are starting to prepare, and everyone's going to get better. So,
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
Meanwhile, the Bonneville Pontiacs get back into action at home against the Drayton Valley Thunder. The Yaks ended 2013 on a positive note with a win, and forward Spencer Fu looks to continue his pace for the league's goal-scoring title. Hopefully both trends can continue for Bonneville's sake. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock at the RJ. And here at home, the Lloydminster Junior B Bandits face the Saddle Lake Warriors in the Bandits' first game of 2014. The Bandits had an impressive first half of the season with 19 wins and look to make it 20 tonight, 8 o'clock at the Civic Center. The Bonneville Pontiacs enter the 2014 part of their schedule tonight against Drayton Valley. Now they're hoping for better success in the second half of the season as the Yaks have had an unprecedented year, one filled with some highs, but a lot more lows than they're accustomed to. Fraser Snowden spoke to the first-year head coach and general manager Rick Swan and got his thoughts on the first half of the season.
So, first of all, thanks a lot for taking the time to speak to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
So, you have just been slotted into this position as head coach / GM. Explain how the adjustment is to this different type of management role.
It's still hockey based, during the winter time here, but as a general manager, you are involved in all the organizational duties, which include the business side of it to ensure that financially we're secure. And the biggest adjustment from an associate coach to a head coach and general manager is that your time away from the on-ice product is more demanding. The job probably entails about 30% hockey, and the rest of the time you're focused on the administration aspect of it. So your hours in the day are a little bit longer, and it's something that's been a tremendous learning curve with that aspect to be able to balance both. But I certainly am appreciative that I'm in a great organization to be able to learn with supportive people around me so that we can continue to come to the rink every day to get better and help this organization grow in an upward direction both on and off the ice.
Now, 7th place at this time, how do you feel the year has gone overall?
We certainly were a lot more optimistic at the beginning of the year with the group that we had coming in, and never anticipated the amount of injuries that we were going to be faced with this year. And you just look at tonight's lineup to have 6 key significant veterans out. It's very difficult to get guys to share in the burden of the type of individuals that are out of the lineup, and especially the contributions that they make. But certainly for our young guys, they get to be put in situations that maybe they're not ready for at this time. So mistakes are going to occur, and as a result of those mistakes, it reflects upon our record. But we know moving forward, especially into the 2014 season, and possibly next year we're going to be a lot better hockey team for it, and we're going to benefit from it. And so because of the injuries, never anticipated that, but certainly it's something that's been a little bit of an adjustment from that perspective, to be able to get our young guys and put them in those strengthened situations for them to be able to allow us to be competitive.
So that kind of brings me to my next question, which you kind of answered. What were some challenges, other challenges that you faced this year other than the injuries?
Yeah, just definitely keeping guys healthy, making sure that we kept the balance between the administration aspect of being in a great organization as well as the on-ice product, to be able to ensure that we're balancing things like recruiting, the business side, the financial side, and then as well as looking after 25 kids in a small town community that takes pride and it has a tremendous amount of tradition with their players, to make sure that they're getting everything that they need to have an opportunity to create success for themselves.
And how about your most memorable game of 2013?
There's been some good ones here. I'd probably have to say that it would be Canmore. In Canmore, where the first period we didn't have the start that we wanted. Second period, we just turned it right around, and that was a tremendous game because the guys came to play. They made the choice to become the team that we anticipated them to have. And at that moment, we knew that we've got a good core nucleus of guys that it takes to be successful in this league. It's just the challenge of keeping them to do it consistently every game, which has been the biggest challenge for a coaching staff.
And of course, this is a given. We already know the answer, really, but what's the team working forward to for 2014?
2014 is, number one, to get healthy. We need those key veterans back in the lineup. With those guys back in, it'll be like a new injection of energy into the room and leadership. And then the second thing is so that we can make playoffs and allow our group to mesh together, take the lessons that we've learned from 2013 and allow us to be competitive moving forward.